Okay, now that we've looked at what logic is and have a general idea of logic being the science of correct reasoning, the idea is that it prescribes, it tells us how we should, how we ought to reason. Let's take a quick look at reason, because I think when we look at the word reason, at least we're going to find a similar ambiguity, and we're going to begin to see how this family of concepts, logic, reason, and argument, kind of fall into place and hang together. And let's consider two uses of the word, or two different senses, you might say, of the word reason. One found in the sentence, saving her money to buy a car was Joan's reason for not spending her entire paycheck in the club. And compare and contrast that with the use of reason in this sentence, sentence B. Jim used the power of reason to figure out why the car did not start. That is, I think the two are related, but they really have slightly different meanings, and let's take a look at them. If we take a look at the first one, saving her money to buy a car was Joan's reason for not spending her entire paycheck in the club. Reason in that sentence is expressing kind of the basis or the cause of her belief, that is, or action or fact. In this case, her action, her not spending her entire paycheck. The basis of that, the cause of that, was that she wanted to save her money to buy a car. Another way of looking at reason in this case is, this reason is, a statement presented to justify or explain the belief or action. What explains the fact that Joan didn't continue spending her money, having a good time in the club, was that she was saving her money for a car. So that's what a reason is, that a basis or cause of a belief, or a statement that's presented to justify. That is, the statement being, I want to save my money to buy a car. Joan's statement would explain why she didn't spend all of her money in the club. Now, when we look at the second sentence, Jim used the power of reason to figure out why the car didn't start. What reason is there, and it's related to the last use of reason, is it's the mental ability or the mental power to determine what the best course of action is, or the correct answer to a question, or the conclusion or outcome of a set of assumptions. That is, in this case, maybe the correct answer to the question is, why does the car not start? Well, Jim used his power of reasoning to figure out, to get to the correct answer of why the car did not start. And let's take a look at the dictionary.com definitions of reason. It says, first one is a basis or cause for some belief, action, fact, event, the reason for declaring war, or the reason Joan didn't spend all of her money in the club. Second one, a statement presented in justification or explanation of a belief or action. You could turn that cause or that reason that she had into a statement stating what the reason was, and what she did would comply with the second definition, or the second meaning of reason, although the two really are very close. Then the third one is our second use of the word meaning, talking about the mental power, the ability to form conclusions, to form judgments, to make the right inferences, as in Jim's being able to figure out why the car did not start. And if you have these kind of mental powers, you have reason of the fourth sense that dictionary.com gives you, that is, that you have sound judgment, you have good sense. And the fifth definition is really very closely related. Normal or sound powers of mind, that is, reasoning in the proper way. It's a sign of sanity, that is, that you're not crazy. Now, reason and reasoning are very closely related. Looking at dictionary.com's definition of reasoning, we see that reasoning is the act or process of a person who reasons. Like the person reasoned in the last case. We had Jim reasoning about the car. Even we had Joan reasoning about saving up for a car. So reasoning is what they do, the act that they do to reason. Or the second definition, the process of forming conclusions, judgments, or inferences from facts or premises. That is, it's the process of getting to a conclusion, forming a judgment, making an inference. And the third definition, similar, the reasons, or that is the reasoning, the reasons themselves, the arguments, the proofs, those kinds of things, etc., resulting from the process of reasoning. From this process is also something called the reasoning. The reasoning to show that God exists, or the reasoning to show that the economy is going in this in up or down is, and you get a bunch of facts are cited. So that's how reason and logic are very closely related.